Before a rocket leaves Earth, the mission begins quietly. Engineers check weather, fuel systems, tracking stations, the launch pad, the spacecraft, and the range around the coast. For a SpaceX Falcon 9 mission, the rocket is a high-stage vehicle. The first stage is the tall booster at the bottom. It uses 9 Merlin engines to do the hardest part of the climb, lifting the rocket through the thick lower atmosphere. The second stage sits above it. Its job begins after separation, when one vacuum-optimized Merlin engine carries the payload the rest of the way to orbit. At the top is the payload. It may be satellites, cargo, or Crew Dragon spacecraft. A protective fairing covers many satellite payloads during the violent first minutes of flight. In the final countdown, the rocket is loaded with liquid oxygen and rocket-grade kerosene. The vehicle becomes extremely cold, venting white clouds as the propellants settle inside the tanks. Then the computers take control. The engines ignite. Clamps release. Falcon 9 rises from the pad on a column of fire. The first stage burns for only a few minutes, but those minutes do enormous work. The rocket accelerates, rolls onto the correct flight path, and pushes through maximum aerodynamic pressure, often called max Q. Then comes main engine cutoff. The first stage shuts down and separates. The second stage ignites and continues toward orbit. This is where SpaceX changed the launch business. Instead of always throwing away the booster, Falcon 9 often turns around and comes home. Cold gas thrusters help orient the booster. Grid fins unfold to steer through the atmosphere. Depending on the mission, the booster aims for a landing zone on land or a drone ship at sea. As it falls back through the sky, the booster performs engine burns to slow down. Landing legs deploy in the final moments. Then, if everything works, the rocket touches down vertically, ready to be inspected, refurbished, and flown again. Meanwhile, the second stage places the payload into its planned orbit. For satellite missions, the fairing separates, and later the payload is released in space. What looks like one fiery launch is really a chain of timed events. Fueling, ignition, ascent, stage separation, orbital insertion, and sometimes a booster landing. That is how SpaceX launches rockets, by turning a launch into both a delivery and a return trip.